In this video, we will study law of conservation of momentum. We are also going to derive the expression or equation for law of conservation of momentum. And this is the last topic of the lesson. Now here, first thing is we must understand what is the meaning of the word conservation. Conservation means no change. That is, momentum does not change because we are talking about conservation of momentum. So your momentum does not change or momentum remains constant over time. Conservation of momentum is mostly used to describe कोलिजन बिटवीन टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स, यानी जब दो ऑब्जेक्ट्स एक दूसरे से टकराते हैं तब हम बोल सकते हैं कि मोमेंटम कंजर्व होता है. ओके, सो conservation of momentum is applicable only in an isolated system of objects. Now what is this isolated system? An isolated system is a system where no external force acts on the two colliding objects. That is, the unbalanced force acting on the objects is equal to 0. So there should be no unbalanced force acting on the objects if these two objects are colliding with each other. Let us see how to scientifically derive the law of conservation of momentum. For this, we are going to consider two objects A and B. So this is object A and object B. Both are having different masses. Mass of A is m1, mass of B is m2. Both A and B are moving with different velocities. A is moving with an initial velocity of u1 and B is moving with an initial velocity of u2. So let us write down all these details. So let me say that, let me write consider two objects. Consider two objects A and B having masses m1 and m2 and moving with initial velocities v1 and not initial velocity, not v1, initial velocity u1 and u2. Okay, so let us say that u1 is greater than u2, यानी u1 का स्पीड a का स्पीड u1 है एंड b का स्पीड u2 है. इसका स्पीड ज्यादा है, इसका स्पीड कम है, यानी a इज मूविंग विद अ ग्रेटर वेलोसिटी एज कंपेयर टू b. अगर a ज्यादा स्पीड से मूव हो रहा है तो क्या होगा, थोड़ी देर के बाद ये ऑब्जेक्ट a b से आके टकरा जाएगा. तो ये जो डायग्राम बनाया है ये है बिफोर कोलिशन, यानी टकराव होने के पहले, ये पहले वाला ये डायग्राम है, दैट इज बिफोर कोलिशन. ओके, फाइन. Now let me write down. I know that u1 is the initial velocity of A, m1 is the mass of A, u2 is the initial velocity of B and m2 is the mass of B. So let me write down the initial momentum of A. Now you know momentum is equal to mass into velocity, isn't it? So what is the mass of A? m1. What is the initial velocity of A? u1, right? So initial momentum of A will be m1 u1. Similarly, I can write down initial momentum of B also. So initial momentum of B will be m2 u2. Okay. Now, as I said that speed of A is greater than the speed of B, yani u1 is greater than u2. So what will happen is, after some time A will come and collide on B. So A and B will collide with each other. So this is A and this is object B. So this is during collision now. During collision. Now what will happen during collision is, B will exert a force on A. Suppose B exerts a force F2 on A. If now see, the object B is bigger, that it has got a greater mass. So when B collides with A, जब B A से टकराएगा तो क्या होगा, A का velocity change होगा. Okay, so A will start moving with a different speed or different velocity, and we know that whenever velocity changes means the object gets accelerated. That means object A undergoes acceleration. So now what we'll write, when both A and B collide with each other, what happens? Object B exerts a force. What force have we taken here? F2 on object A, such that object A accelerates. So if A is accelerating, let the final velocity of A be v1. Okay. Now we know Newton's third law of motion. According to Newton's third law of motion, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. That is, if object B is exerting a force on object A in turn will exert a force on object B. So now what will happen is, when A and B, B has exerted a force on A and A will also exert a force on B. So now what will happen is, both of them will start moving with different velocities. So as I said, B has exerted a force of F2. So let me say A is exerting a force of F1 on B. Okay. So according to Newton's third law of motion, object A exerts a force. What is that force? F1 on B, such that final velocity of B changes to v2. So now we are saying, after collision, A is moving with a velocity of v1 and B is moving with a velocity of v2. Okay. We also know that according to Newton's third law, if A exerts a force on B and if B is what is the force exerted by B? F2. It will be equal in magnitude to the force which will be exerted by A. What does it mean? If A is exerting a force of 5 newtons on B, B also will in turn exert a force of 5 newtons on A. That means these two forces are equal in magnitude, but the forces are opposite in direction. ये दोनों भी forces opposite direction में है. तो अगर B F2 force exert कर रहा है, तो A will exert an opposite force of reaction on B. So that will be minus F1. Okay. So now let me apply the formula force equation. What is force is equal to? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. We have already done the derivation of force equation, mass into acceleration. So I will write formula of F2. So first let me write formula of F. F will be equal to m into A. But if I am calculating F2, that means this is for object. This F2 will be the force which will be exerted by B on A. So F2 will be m2 into A2 is equal to minus F1 is the force which will be exerted by A on B. So mass into acceleration. Okay, if we are calculating force F1, it will be m1 into A1. So m2. Now what is A? Acceleration. And what is acceleration? V minus u upon t. So A2 will be is equal to V2 minus U2. For time, I will not write T1 and T2 because when the two objects are colliding with each other, we are considering the same time interval is equal to minus M1. Similarly, if I want to write A1, A will be V minus U upon T, V minus U upon T. But for A1, V will be V1 and U will be U1. Okay, now T and T will get cancelled. So if T and T gets cancelled, what we get is M2 into V2 minus U2. see this m2 into v2 minus u2 is equal to minus m1 into v1 minus u1. Now opening the bracket, m2 into v2 minus m2 into u2 is equal to minus m1 v1, minus into minus will become plus m1 u1. So I will bring this minus m1 v1 on the left hand side, which is on the right hand side, to the left hand side. Minus m1 v1 I am shifting to the left hand side. So minus m1 v1 will become plus m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1, and minus m2 u2 will be shifted on the right hand side. So it becomes plus m2 u2. So this is the total momentum after collision, and this is total momentum before collision. So according to the law of conservation of momentum, whenever two objects collide with each other, the total momentum after collision is equal to total momentum before collision, that is m1 v1 plus m2 v2 is equal to m1 u1 plus m2 u2. Now momentum is always conserved in a collision. Momentum is never lost. The momentum which is lost by one object is equal to the momentum which is gained by another object. The momentum ma may get distributed among the two bodies which are colliding with one another. So if there is one body A which is losing momentum, there will be another body B which will gain momentum, and these two of course will be the two bodies which will be colliding with each other. So what is the law of conservation of momentum? Law of conservation of momentum states that if two freely moving bodies collide with each other, then their total momentum after collision is the same as their total momentum before collision. See this example. While playing snooker, the player hits one ball. So this ball has mass and it has got velocity. That means this particular ball which has been given a push is having a momentum. Okay. So the other four balls which are at rest, their momentum is equal to 0. Whereas this moving ball has a high momentum. Now when it starts moving towards the four balls, see what has happened is the moving ball collides with the stationary ball. And what has happened is the momentum has been passed from this moving ball to the first stationary ball, from the first stationary ball to the second stationary ball, from the second stationary ball to the third stationary ball, and finally what has happened? The fourth ball is set in motion. That means the momentum which was lost by the moving ball is transferred to the ball which is now set in motion. Okay. So momentum is conserved in this example. Now take a look at this example. These are the balls which are hung from some stand. So it's working just like a pendulum. So these are the balls which are suspended from a stand with the help of a string. Now you just take a look at the first image here on the left hand side. Now here you can see that one ball is pulled towards the left hand side and the ball is left so that it strikes the other four stationary balls. So what has happened? This ball is already having some momentum because it has got mass, it has got velocity. So it hit the first ball which is stationary. The momentum is passed on from the first ball to the second, from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. So now from this ball the momentum has been transferred or shifted to this ball, and say what is the result? That one last ball is out. Similarly, you see the right hand side, the example which is on the right hand side. So now here on the right hand side you can see that there are two balls which are pushed or which are to be swung or which are to be released. So when they are pulled towards one side and then released by applying a releasing force on these stationary balls, these two balls are having momentum, so they go and hit the three balls which are stationary. So the momentum is transferred from these two balls to this ball, to this ball, to this ball. So what has happened now? these two balls are stationary and the last two balls are set into a state of motion, so they are out. So the momentum has been transferred from these two balls to the last two balls, so momentum is conserved. Momentum can never. In this example, you can see that a truck and a car are moving with a certain speed or a certain velocity. Now the truck moves and it crashes onto the small car. Okay. Now what will happen is, this collision will cause the motion of the truck to slow down because the truck loses its momentum. It was having high momentum and now because of collision, कार के साथ टकराने की वजह से ट्रक का मोमेंटम कम हो गया. But momentum cannot be destroyed. It has to be definitely passed on to another object. So now where does this momentum go? In this case, the momentum is transferred to the small car, due to which now the car will start moving with a greater speed than it was earlier. Okay, so momentum is transferred from the truck to a small car. That means momentum was not destroyed. In fact, momentum was conserved.